Welcome to another episode of Frag-Out. My name is Neil Bawadi, otherwise known as Mystery Fragrance. I'm joined today by the one and only Mr. Saga, otherwise known as Sean. How you doing, Sean?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing good. Doing good. Just had some pizza. Yeah, a little ice cream
Oh,
bar.
okay.
So very tasty.
Very
Homemade dough. I'm bougie like that.
I would expect nothing less, to be honest with you.
We got Joel in the house as always. The Sensei. Wearing a Spirited Dubai. This is a pretty good one. You ever tried this one?
I have not. I honestly think I probably would like it more than the one that I own.
You should see if you can trade somebody.
Yeah, no. There's 20 notes in the top of this on Fragrantica.
Yeah. if you don't know, folks, you're gonna know in a second when I pull it up.
Oh my goodness.
This house, they do love to put quite a few of the extra notes. Let me just tell you. Well, this thing's not cooperating right now. I'm just gonna do this then.
Yeah, just a bit.
So,
and they do this thing on here, and I need to actually like look at the brand's website to see if it's like this egregious, because Fragrantica will throw things out. People throw stuff out that is not like what
because
it is
it's all
all.
voted, right? It's all Fragrantica is not necessarily strict as Parfumo.
This one's really egregious because
really?
this one has cassia, but like Chinese cinnamon, but everyone thinks it's black currant, and so it's listed as black currant.
Yeah,
not in here at all. And then you look at the website,
like also because they take what is said on the site sometimes on their on the page for the fragrance itself. So I know there's an Audio Lab one where the note reads as green pepper. And people think it's a bell pepper, so there's they put bell pepper as an accord, but no one smells bell pepper. But in the discussion with Jerry, I think his name is the perfumer and the owner, he said that he took the notes that it made it like a green pepper smell, green pepper accord type smell,
right?
Not a green, not like it's a slightly green and slightly peppery, and so it came off as green pepper when it was translated. So
not green bell pepper, but more a green peppery nuance. Yeah,
type of nuance. Yeah, that's what. And here it is. Look, this is for some fragrances. This is a hell of a lot of the notes off the for just the whole fragrance. This could be the whole fragrance right here for a lot of fragrances out there. But that's just the top.
Dude. Yeah, I made the joke the last time, and I kind of facetious. I like the fragrance. It's one that I think it's Abjal. It might be one that finds its way like out of my collection at a certain point here, just because I thought I would reach for it a lot more. But to be honest with you, like I made the joke when I first sprayed it on. I was like, all those notes just to smell like Hawass. And it doesn't smell like Hawass, the one that I'm talking about. But that one that I'm talking about, it is a fruity, sweet aquatic. So, and it doesn't evolve as much to me. But it might just be me, who knows? But I do love this idea that they do sea notes and watery notes.
Yeah. One's got salt, man. Of course it's going to be.
And again, as someone who is a self-described, I'm like a perfume maximalist. I don't want skin, your skin but better stuff. Technically, this is right up my alley. Like I can't complain about it. I like this. This is absurd, but
it's kind of funny that like you have the depth of this where you can actually there are 16 people that truly smell the saffron and the iris. It's
I mean, so the thing is, like, I believe that, right? Like, we can't. I know for a fact that's the case because we've all shared samples and decants, and it's like,
And
my God,
smoke.
dude, this is like a saffron bomb. And then people are like, like with Lakid with gold, you're like, man, there's a lot of orange blossom, and I'm like, there's a lot of saffron. Like that's what I'm
Yeah,
getting.
yeah.
And
And
then yeah,
like Kanjar, Kanjar is we keep
Anjar,
going back to
same thing.
Kanjar is a perfect example. Like me and Austin, very fecally, you just very fresh.
Not I mean that was Dedrick. Dedrick said it was fresh. I say with Conjar, it's definitely not fresh on me, but it's like it is woody, earthy. It is deep. It is a deep scent. I just don't get any sort of off-putting like fecal stuff. Whereas like for me personally, and Conjar is one I need to revisit. I need to get a sample of it again. But like when I spray on like King Blue from Amouage, I get more of a funky oud from that. Like that definitely
I
is
get it.
one that
I
I'm
get it
like,
with that as
yeah,
well too. King Blue, yeah, for sure.
yeah,
I smell a bit of that funk.
yeah. That's one of those things where, because like Austin was like, no, I think like King Blue's more wearable, and I was like, I don't know, man. For me, Conjar might be more wearable and on my skin, but I guess with King Blue, it has that dry down effect that's a bit more welcoming. I don't think I would wear either of those. Like I wouldn't wear either of those to work, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
those.
Well, I mean, unless you went to work, like you sprayed it on and then stayed around your house for like an hour or two and then went to work.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Where at that point though, if it's a scent that I'm like, I have to let this marinade so that I can be in public. That's something you save for like you're around fragrance people, or it is like high end kind of event. But like that's
Yeah.
also the thing that we run into problems where like I've gone to events that are like galas, right? Like it's for teacher stuff, or like I got an award or something to that effect. Even then, like my award fragrance is signature rosé from Zaharoff, because that is one where I feel like it has this really beautiful ability to elevate itself or kind of match your vibe, whatever you're
Mhm.
doing. I wear it around the house. I wear it to work. I wear it just to run errands and stuff. Wearing that in a suit though, spray a little bit more probably than you need to, and kind of let it hang
Mhm.
out for a bit. I think it comes off really elegant.
I think that's the rose that really kind of does that, and also a little bit of the incense that kind of makes it feel a little more chic. But
Hmm.
when you're wearing kind of casually, it's the sweeter aspects of it that probably people like when they see you. Like, oh, they probably pick up more. It's kind of funny how visual this is. This could be a good topic for us someday. How
Yeah.
visually someone dresses can change what people think of how they smell depending on what they like, even if something they're wearing.
Hmm.
It'd be interesting to see us do some sort of comparison or some sort of video like that.
Yeah. That would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
What'd you wear today?
Me, I just slide back here,
Mhm.
grab it from the shelf. You're kind of familiar with this fragrance, but you're familiar with the non-intense version. It is
Yes.
Cedrat Boise Intense.
Ah, yeah.
Um, I had a bottle of regular
Hmm.
Cedrat, uh, and I at first I realized I was like, I really like this. I really like this. But then as I got deeper and deeper, I was just like, okay, I can kind of see where people are saying it is kind of one note. It is
Hmm.
kind of a singular, linear fragrance, and
It's an opening that just calms down the whole time.
yeah. And I was like, I want to have something that's maybe a little bit more deep
Hmm.
in far. So look, less of a mile long, a mile wide, 1 inch deep, and a little more of like half a mile
Yeah.
wide, and like maybe at least like 3 feet deep.
I really like the. I mean, I love Cedrat Boise. I will say I really like the opening of the Intense, because it has that oudiness and that kind of like
Mhm.
signature. I like a Mancera oud accord. I don't care if people dislike that. I like a Mancera oud accord. Anna Montal,
Yeah, it's funny because I kind of like them as well, but it's not real. We all know it's not real oud.
No.
It's some form of cypriol combo, probably, that they're using to get a chord like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's better. I like it better than some other oud accords. Like, I'd prefer the Mancera oud over, say, the oud wood.
Okay, yeah.
Style.
That super cypriol heavy oud that they make, yeah,
Yeah.
that western smell. I
Mhm.
like that. I like that too.
I mean, I
But
like it, but I
yeah,
like his style, the way he
yeah.
does it, a little bit better. So,
I think that the estimation that he has created in that accord actually gets closer to an oud than Tom Ford's oud would. Like, oud wood to me, the way that I always think of it is that it's just like it's wood. That's really what that is. It's like wood mixed with a slightly more aggressive wood, which
wood poured over wood.
yeah, basically.
So, let's see. Brian wore Blue Noir today, EDP.
We all went for some pretty I have a fairly easy pick today too.
Hmm.
That's actually from Brian. It's a
It's
sample.
kind of funny because Brian yesterday he wore Adonis Awakens.
Hmm.
I didn't plan this, but I happened to wear. Let's look back there. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
Danye. I was like,
Ah.
Danye. The reason why I got confused is because I did try on um, two fragrances from this box that I have down here, and one of them smelled very much like Danye. So much to the point I was sitting there sniffing on it, and I'm like, "What is this? I know this. What is this?" And I was like,
That's
and then it clicked, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I'm gonna wear that in a little bit." I just
I am intrigued that that's the case then. What is that?
It is the 1.5 version of Soul, Brass and Soul by Zaharoff.
Hmm.
Zaharoff. This is Soul Elixir.
Interesting.
I was sitting there and I was legitimately like, I know this. I know this. And it really just dawned on me when I was like, wait a minute. Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
That I will say that specifically that scent profile would be one
Mhm.
that I would be like, I I have smelled this before, but not often. Is kind of the way that would be a thing where it's like I can't think of because we shared that one time when there was the Aaron Terrence Hughes review, and he's like, oh, I've smelled this profile before when he was testing Danae, and I was like, where? Like, what do you mean that you've smelled that smell before? I'm like, I haven't. And I'm like, I know you've smelled a lot more than I have, Aaron Terrence Hughes, but it's like,
Yeah.
really? Like, are you sure you're not just immediately diving to like the molecule aspect of it
He
as
probably
opposed to,
is. He
yeah,
probably is.
he
I
tends to
think for
review that
me,
way.
what the opening, especially of Danye, kind of reminds me of, it actually kind of reminds me a little bit of how L'Homme Ideal opens, like the
Okay.
EDT version.
Hmm.
Very kind of light and effervescent,
Yeah.
and kind of like that booziness almost a little bit.
Hmm.
It's just like the same. There's got to be something in the creation of it. The molecules, whatever they're using, the chemicals that they're using, are similar. That
Yeah.
gives it that kind of same feeling. Um, and that could be where he was like following down. This smells very like I've smelled a lot of things like this, but yeah, but not
Yeah.
exactly like this.
The one that I would say is the general, like, there's a texture to Danae, and why like I always have compared it to, it's like you're in a castle and it's the wood that they use to make the furniture in the castle is what you're smelling, and it has that aspect of there's like you've lacquered or shellacked wood. There's a texture of that, like that almost like Styrax tends to have that texture of like kind of like almost to the point where you're like there's a squeakiness to it because it's so treated, the wood.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that that's kind of what I've always kind of gotten with Danae.
We got Diaghilev being worn. So,
That's a good one.
someone said, and welcome, by the way, welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
What was it? Somebody was saying to me that it smelled like very familiar to something else, and I was like, you know what? You're kind of right about that, about Diaghilev. And it was just like another one of those thoughts where you sit there and you think about it.
Yeah, that's
Like
one
how
I
similar are all things.
that is one unfortunately I've been able to what ends up happening is when I go to the scent room in Dallas, they do have Roja fragrances. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
they have Diaghilev. What
Mm-hmm.
always ends up happening is I smell Apex and then convince myself I don't need to purchase Apex. And then I don't smell anything else because I don't want to spend Roja money, even discounter stuff. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to smell something like Diaghilev and go, awesome. Gotta save, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Great.
something.
But that one is also one that I've heard like that's like Roja, that's like peak Roja, I think, for a lot of folks, right? Like that's the one that they kind of hold up as like if you want to understand what a Roja Dove fragrance is, it's this. And
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of people that definitely love Diaghilev for
Yeah.
sure. So, and what did you wear?
I don't know where I put the decant bottle, but Brian Johnson, creative in the chat, shout out to him. Follow him on Instagram for some great art. Um,
And
sent
some great
me
fragrances.
an yeah, and great fragrance picks. Yeah,
Yeah.
sent me a wonderful batch of samples. Did a little bit of them on the last live stream, but the one that I actually tried that I think when he asked me if I had tried it before, he said that he's like, well, this might kind of mess with your top five of that house. And that was actually a Vetiver Sensual from
Oh,
Mancera.
okay.
So we both wore
Man,
Manceras today, fresh Manceras today. Um, yeah, and I enjoyed it immensely. It has a vibe in that opening to me of that lemon liminess, definitely more on that like bergamot lemon kick that I get vibes of stuff like Renaissance and that kind of opening, that very fresh, really beautiful stuff. The vetiver's really nice in this. Like that's like it's still on my hand, and the vetiver has this. It has those like almost transitional like moments within the vetiver where it's like you get that initial like robust woody vetiver smell that smells like the icon that's featured there, right? And as the vetiver kind of dries down, it begins to be that more kind of green, sort of just freshness, like a fresh scent on me. Because it's still kicking. Like you can, it's a Mancera. Like even though it's a fresh,
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
Mancera. I think the mid too. What I really enjoyed, I like want to start exploring orchid more because there was almost like a creaminess, a floral creaminess in the mid on this one.
That's
Um,
probably the orchid. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really pretty. Like I got actually a compliment wearing this today, which they don't necessarily have, but there's a gentleman that I work with who's awesome. We always talk fashion and stuff, and I recently got a really nice denim polo, Ralph Lauren denim jacket. A vintage one is really gorgeous. Picked it up at off of eBay, but so we were talking about it because he and I always like to wear denim kind of stuff, and we always threaten that we're gonna just do a full denim outfit one day. Needs to happen. Needs to happen. Go
If you're
full
watching,
Canadian.
it needs to
Goes full Canadian tuxedo. We're gonna do it. I promise this year. Um, but I had him put on the jacket. I was like, you gotta see. I'm like, I gotta, you know, see like if this is your size or what, because if I
Mhm.
have things that I'm gonna move that you like that you've made comments about, then you know you got to let me know. But so he put on the jacket and he's like, yeah, this is really nice. And he's just starts kind of sniffing. And he goes, you smell really good. This smells really good. Like, what is that? And he wears some type of Baccarat Rouge DNA. I don't know what it is. I haven't asked, but
If
so
he's
he was
wearing intense, no, not intense. Maybe he's wearing Instant Crush.
my, no, it's not room filling it. Well, maybe, yeah. But I was like, oh, it's this fragrance called Mancera is the brand. It's Vetiver Sensual, and he the comment that he made that he really he liked. He's like, I like this. It's not too feminine or too masculine. Like that was kind of the thing. And when he brought that up, I think it's also partially because in our line of work, you your understanding of men's fragrances tends to be stronger with you intensely. So thank you to every influencer again that continues to advocate that their followers wage nuclear war in the form of olfactive terrorism against their teachers, their student peers,
Yep.
and everyone within a 10-mile radius. Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, so I wore something fresh, easy to wear, very beautiful. And Brian was correct. It's definitely, yeah, I don't know. If I had to do top 3 Manceras presently,
This would be in.
I don't know. It might kick the spot. It would kick Aquawood out. Um, it's hard because I wore black gold as well the other day. Ah, gorgeous. I love that fragrance. That has that oud accord very prominently. But yeah, I will be honest with you. If you haven't smelled intense Instant Crush, you need to.
Yeah,
You
it's surprisingly
surprised me how good
really
that
good.
is. Like really good.
Like really good.
Because it was that it was after I had been at Scent Room Dallas and we had made a purchase, and that was when we got a Love Marriage, and the cashier was like, I'm gonna toss you some samples, and I said, yeah, just whatever and she's like, any preferences? I'm like, whatever you would like. She didn't miss. It was because it was that one. It was Jardin de Misfa, which I have sitting next to me because I'm spraying that on. And then the rose or oud rose from Parfums de Nicolai, which is also
Okay.
really good, really
Yeah.
good. So, but yeah, I would out of all of those, Jardins de Misfa is the best one out of all of them, and I like it the most. That fragrance is ridiculous. It's like I'm buying a bottle. The end. But intense Instant Crush could also be kind of in
It
that
is really
vibe.
good. You know what's actually really good too?
Hmm.
Intense French Riviera.
Yeah, it was you got that one. That was one that I was looking into as well as like a summer kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah,
it's kind of like a niche Aqua de Joe almost in a sort of way.
yeah. That's and to be honest with you, I keep always looking at Aqua de Joe Parfum, and I just always keep going like I feel like I could get something for the same price that's more like a little bit more substantial, even though I
Yeah,
really like that scent. I need
yeah.
to the Panadora has a fragrance that is a amber aquatic that I wanna test out. That's one that's a little bit harder to find, it seems, but um, yeah, just an aquatic, but something a little different. That's why I like the Aqua de Joe Parfum. It has that incense character to
Yeah,
it,
it's
so
got a little something to it.
a little darker. Yeah.
We got Mitch in the house wearing Chanel.
Bois d'Ile.
What the
Ile?
I speak terrible Spanish and terrible French, and I barely speak English. So,
C.
so I'll try not to butcher that one at all by not saying it.
Joel, I need to try Estrella de la Mañana. Yeah, I wanna try the rest of Uno Mod. It's just it's weird because at the place that I go
Mhm.
to, most of there's like I was telling you, it's all the old bottles. it's not those new ones. So it's a lot of the older fragrances that are featured there. So,
and they are reasonably priced, even if you bought them at retail. Like
15 mils, like 175, I think.
Yeah, it's like, and you can get 25 mLs for the earlier ones for like $50.
But House of Cosmo has to raise their prices.
So that's right.
I smelled those ones. They're nice fragrances. They're not
bad, but
nothing really.
they're not niche.
Nothing really moved the needle on that one for me.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the fragrance that features oud and is like has oud in the name smelled less like oud than one of the other ones.
Yeah.
Which me and the shop owner were like, why did they do that? Like, here's our oud fragrance. I don't really smell it. Here's this one. Did you guys mess up the bottles?
Brian talking about how he frequently compares Danye to L'Homme Ideal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I'm not the only one.
No. Now that makes me want to wear L'Homme Ideal tomorrow, maybe. I don't know.
Ombre Nomad, there's one they released last year, Silver, I think it's Silver Oud.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. Like, I tried that for the first time at Stell, and I was like, wow, this is really good too. I'm thinking to myself, I could be in trouble with this house because I could end up buying like most of them.
Yeah. So 130 for the EDPs is what John was saying from them. Yeah, it's like, if you want to talk about value, that's nuts. Like, for the product you're getting, that's pretty crazy. Like, it's substantial.
Amber Conjar, that's a really good fragrance. Oriental, I can't remember I know it's Oriental something, but that's really good. Silver Oud is homage. I mean, yes, there is, but there's I gotta go back there, but I can't find the page.
Let me see here. I got it pulled up.
Where is it? It's somewhere. Oh, you know what it is? This
silver saffron.
Silver saffron. Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, that. Oh, yeah. You linked that one, and we're like, "Hey, look, you would like this," and I went, "You don't say."
Yeah. I shared the picture with you.
Yeah, saffron, raspberry, myrrh, papyrus, iris. Sign me up.
Sounds like something I would want to get.
Yep.
Hey, that's how
I mean, I think that there's so many different things on for them that I'm interested in. I mean, even like Click Song, right? The patchouli kind of amber fragrance. Like, yeah, there's so much from that brand, and it's just,
they have, like, I still haven't like tried some of the ones. Well, they haven't released them yet, but the ones that they showed last year to us at the end of the year they said that were going to be coming out. Those smelled really good too. There was a lavender one that was going to be really different, like a kind of sweet lavender. And then there was another one. I think it was almond. But yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Commend
Diamond.
That's a really good one too. So check out the house if you haven't checked it out.
Yeah,
people,
if you haven't, that's
if you've been sleeping on this house, check out this house.
What should I discover next? Unawina Mod, apparently, if you haven't, because we're just all like, that one. Yeah, that one smelled really good too.
Yeah, I'm like, and again, you're getting 25 mLs, right? These are nice sized amounts, that you're getting. This is another good one if you're looking for like a leathery kind of angel share amberish DNA, like that. And then here's the one you're talking about. Yeah, this one's a beautiful rose, chocolatey.
I'm gonna
velvety.
spray that on, actually, a little bit.
Spicy Road. I need to try that one. I haven't didn't have it at Stell. They actually sold out of it, so I was like, oh man. Then I also got this recently in a good deal. This is
Oh
another
yeah,
great. This is another great one. This is
the
the kind of
the
leathery version.
the vibe off of the Jardins. Did you? So the first time I ever smelled it, I got like kind of a pretty big like licorice hit to it almost.
Let me spray a
And
little
I'm
bit.
wondering if that's kind of just like that nuttiness really is what it is, because like initially I got like kind of a bit of a licoricey nuance to it.
I can see what you're talking about, but it
I think
comes
it's the
more.
the almond kind of nuttiness
Yeah,
is
it comes off
what I
more
was getting there.
almondy. Yeah, to me, nutty. Yeah,
Yeah.
than it is like a anisey type of note.
Right. It's beautiful. Like it's just hello. It
Welcome.
is a that one's just it's pretty, dude. It's a pretty fragrance, and like I think that there would be some people that would smell this and be like, it's too it's too feminine, but more for me then I guess, because yeah, that's
Welcome.
never been a concern of mine.
Yeah, but yes, once again, we'll iterate once more time. Check out Ombre Nomad.
Hmm.
Please do. But we'll go back up here, see what else we missed in the chat a little bit. Let's see. Bring up old.
Yeah.
See, John had brought up his scent of the day was ATH Haze. Um,
Again,
you know,
I'm excited to smell some of those. I don't know how excited I will be if they're like, yeah, we're just gonna do the pricing that we have for
the second,
Max Aroma. Also,
right?
we're gonna recreate the experience by saying we have 3 bottles. You have to buy it now.
There it is. Oh wait, no, here it is.
Haze looks great.
Yeah, if you don't know, there's Haze. I do believe people consider this like the Aventus kind of take. His take on Aventus. Oh, because look, yeah,
Pineapple
because it's got
black
pineapple.
currant. Yeah. Well, it's always there's no moss. I feel
Yes,
like
there is no moss.
the best way to describe Bowmakers and Victorinox, the Victorinox ones, the rock,
Mm.
very cool. Some interesting those are some ones that you don't see every day. But I mean, yeah, if you're I would say like if you were to do the 3 note breakdown of Aventus, what? Pineapple, um black
Blackcurrant.
currant,
Yeah.
oak moss. It's those 3 kind of.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. Scrolling on down. Uh, Welcome Blaine. Wearing Chanel. Super Ligera.
That's a good one for the heat.
Yep. I did try it one time in the store, but I was just like, I have something that's kind of it's on the border of immensity, very ginger forward, kind of citrusy fragrance. So I was just like, I already have something that's like this. I don't really need something like, especially I didn't like the whole, hey, this is a limited time, wink, wink. Totally not going to come back, wink, wink.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it came back.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Like it's always those ones like I remember people like making comments about that too where they're like, how could a business do this? I'm like, it's Chanel. What do you mean? Like
Do
that's
you
what
know Chanel's history?
it's like, do you know Chanel's history? On top of that, they're a company. Yes, there are companies that misrepresent perhaps. It was limited. That initial run is limited technically.
Mm-hmm.
But, everyone likes an encore, right? especially if you plan to do the encore before you play your first song.
If you play the best song last and first.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
Let's see. We got Bowmaker. That's a pretty good one, too. If people don't know that one, I'll bring that up here. Bowmaker.
I will say that DS and Durga, I think as a brand, I haven't actually. I've smelled one DS and Durga because that was one that the wife wanted at one point to try, which was their pistachio one.
Okay.
Pistachio.
Yeah.
She wasn't crazy about it. And then I think we also tried Jasmine Yucatan, and that one was a bit better. But I
Dawn
honestly
has
think
that.
DS and Durga has some of like. I really, just as a brand, they've cultivated an identity that's really cool.
Yeah.
Stark kind of like bottles and stuff, but like cool names for fragrances and stuff like that. The vibes there. I need to look into it unless somebody knows offhands, but is Debaser from DS and Durga talking about the Pixies? That's what I'm
Maybe.
that's what I'm interested in. I don't know that. But yeah, like Burning Barbershop and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's great stuff.
This, for me, this is the most photorealistic pineapple fragrance I've ever smelled because it gets the green aspect of a fresh pineapple, right? It's not an overripe pineapple. It's like a pineapple that's picked where it still has just a little bit of green left on it.
Yeah.
So
No, that's always the thing, right? Because when you see pineapple, like I think almost every, not every obviously, but the main way that they're trying to express it is like pineapple in a like a high C or a fruit juice commercial where it's like it dumps on the ground and it's got, bunch of liquid coming off of it and all that stuff, right? Just highlighting the juiciness, but that greenness, I think that's always a really interesting way to kind of approach things.
yeah. And then what else we got? Is a great house. Yep. So we have some samples that actually I want to talk about something I did recently.
Okay.
First, so Precious Liquids, they were doing a special promotion where if you reviewed 3 fragrances, you would get 1 10 ml of each of the fragrances that you reviewed for free.
Okay.
I was like, well, I mean, I don't have a single full bottle of any Precious Liquids. I
Right.
only have the 10 mLs and samples. But their samples are generous. At least their old samples were generous. They gave you 5 mLs. Now they only give you 3. They only give you 3 mLs. But there's a better sprayer, so you win some, you lose some.
Mm-hmm.
But I reviewed 3 fragrances that I kind of I very much liked from the house. But I kind of thought on retrospect that I maybe should have reviewed fragrance that I didn't have almost, or like since I tried them all, I could give it a review, but maybe not a full true assessment. The review like you would get from a full bottle. But
Sure.
what I ended up getting was these 3, which was Salt and Pepper, which is right here, and then in the middle is Sangria Oak, which is one of my favorite from the house. Like these are pretty much my 3 favorite from the house, and the last one being Blue Agave. So,
gotcha. And that the salt and pepper one, that's pretty on the nose, right? Of like what that smells like. It's salty, musky, peppery kind of thing.
Yep,
Very
pretty
cool.
much. So it's very kind of in its own space. At least at the time that it was released. Probably not now. There's probably other ones that people would mention, but hey, this, and for anybody's interested, this is one of what you do with this house, right? First, you get the sample set. find the ones you like, and then buy this, because this is 3 10 mLs for like $70 of this
Yeah.
house, where the bottles normally cost, because you can't find them anywhere else, like almost $300, because it's 270 and change. So it's a good deal to buy the 10 mLs. And also, you're getting 3 fragrances, and they're in travel sizes. They're sealed right. You can they're sealed right until they drop on the floor.
Sturdy.
And they're sturdy. Look at that. It didn't break.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing too. Like right now, obviously I'm on the no buy. Still going strong. Haven't even been tempted. You know, maybe a little bit. But anyway, not enough that I do that thing in the no buy where I go like I should blind buy something. It's like I don't normally do that in the first place. Why am I doing this? I have an addiction.
Maybe a little bit.
No, it hasn't been that bad. But the idea that I'm looking into of exploring more of those options where it is at a smaller point, you know, that 30 ml kind of vibe. Like that's the thing too. I think I will credit Zernel Gilly and by proxy you for making me go. It's acceptable to spend 120 on a 30 ml bottle because it's of quality, it's an extrait, and I enjoy it. There was a bit of I think everyone kind of has this in the hobby when they first start out, where there's that they find things and then so much of the valuation is put on the cost of it, where it's like, well, I have to buy 100 ml because I can get it for this price and that's inexpensive. But now I'm staring at stuff where like my collection isn't that big. Like it's sub I think it's sub like I'm probably closer to like 60 maybe, which again, big for, you know, not big in the concept of people that are actively streaming on YouTube talking about fragrance. It is small.
It's big
For for
someone who's in
yeah,
it casually, not
yeah,
casually, but
yeah.
like,
It would be a lot. And
yeah.
I'm still looking at it going like I need to get rid of a bunch of these because I like there are fragrances that I've done that. I that could even be a video topic where it's like the summer cut where it was like this fragrance was put away for hot weather and I said I would wear it. And then I didn't.
Then it gets cut.
Then it's cut. Like
Yeah,
then it's things where it's like sorry, like that's gone.
yeah.
And granted for me, I think I did a pretty good job, but like to put it into perspective where I'm at with mine is like Blue de Chanel Parfum got one wear this summer. That's if you told me a year ago that was going to happen. Seraphine Blue
Got one wear.
no, it got more than that. But
I was gonna say-
let's
I was
not be
gonna-
crazy.
I was
Let's
gonna
not
say,
be
we got
crazy.
one-
Yeah, Seraphine Blue, but
Yeah.
it was. I don't think it hit double digits. But
Yeah.
you want to know what was hitting double digits? This will be because I've
Lemoyne?
worn this 4 days in a row.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Like I wore it 4 days in a row until like today. Wore Veteran Essential Oil, came home, sprayed this on me.
Well,
Like,
okay, well, how many times have you worn Limone?
well, you know.
Where's that bottle?
I
Where's
haven't since we live streamed.
Okay, all right.
Haven't since we live streamed just because I was like I need to calm down. This needs to be around for the next summer. But now that I'm starting back at work, man, like it's hard for me to like I was pulling out some heavier stuff the past because I'm like, oh, I'm back in an air conditioned building.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, like
Everybody's gonna have the ability to wear something a little heavier, a little thicker.
yeah.
Denser.
This one is a Scandic, Joel. I have filmed the first part of a It Just Smells Good on it. I just haven't been able to actually film the second part. So I did like the initial impression, but I've already worn it before because I bought this as like my scent to start the school year. If you like very brief, just little thing on this sneak preview. Because again, if I wore it 4 days in a row, that probably tells you something. Um, if you like that Xerjoff kind of Accento or Accento thing where it's that musky, floral, fruity thing, this is very good. Opens with this like I was talking about the idea that I like that Panadora as a house shirks a lot of your preconceived notions about Scandinavian based perfumery where it's like, no offense, boring. Um
Minimalist.
Minimalist is the kind way to put it,
Yeah.
but I think it tends to be very sterile, very severe. And if you know anything, like that tracks for some ideas about like Scandinavian culture and populations, because everyone unfortunately just makes the assumption just like, oh, Finnish people don't like to talk to one another. They're antisocial. So let's make a fragrance that's about cold disconnection. And it's like, okay. But in the contents of this, like the vision that is being painted to me is you spray it on initially. There's a good deal of saltiness from like the myrtle kind of thing going on,
Okay.
where you feel like it's sea spray kind of feeling. So it's like you're starting there. Yeah, Joel, it was my third one, so I have three from the house now. But I love this stuff. But
There you go,
you
Joe.
kind of have that, and and then you walk into like where people are kind of growing plants and fauna, a lot of really beautiful kind of rows. And then you walk into kind of the woods where you start to get this vibe almost of like fresh, it's a fresh tree aspect to it. It's a fresh um, forest kind of thing. It's not dirty in any capacity. And it has a really beautiful musk. Like it is a very fluffy,
Hmm.
textural, and where it says cassia there or cassia, that is when you click on it, it takes you to the black currant thing. It's cassia, it's Chinese cinnamon because
Oh, okay.
it's Chinese.
It's actual cinnamon.
It is actual cinnamon. Because when you spray that one on, it's like in that mid, it's this beautiful kind of powder, not powdery, fluffy musk. There's a definite texture, and then you have this really beautiful, like sweet cinnamon nuance to it.
Mhm.
It's
Well, I should say
gorgeous.
actual cinnamon. It's the cinnamon that we use.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. It's beautiful. It is very beautiful. The honey and camphorous notes, I will say, I got that in the real kind of deep dry down. It had this sort of change because they basically the brand talks about it's like you're walking in gardens and then into a forest and then you find yourself at the end of the day curled up with like a cashmere blanket. That's kind of the vibe they're going for. Um, I think the best thing about this and why I really enjoy it is a passion fruit fragrance that does not smell tropical in any capacity
Yeah. It is
with
kind of
how it's
weird though.
blended. It is
Like
it
why even
is
say it?
it is I mean it's distinct.
Yeah,
Like it
it's
is
there. You
distinctly a
can
passion
smell.
fruit thing.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can definitely get a passion fruit thing because I think passion fruit is just really potent when you think of like passion fruit taste or smell.
Hmm.
Um but it's rounded so well with the peach and the raspberry. And the comment that I made too in there and would be interested to expand upon it, like it could be its own video, is talking about the idea of people that are immigrants from a place making fragrances that are about that place or inspired by that place. Because he's actually the owner and perfumer is Syrian. He's a
Yeah.
Syrian immigrant to Sweden. Um, and I think that's really cool. I think that's cool to have somebody bring a perspective where you have all these preconceived notions when you live in an area about cultural things or shared aspects. And so when someone brings their own things and then interacts with that, I think that's a really interesting storytelling opportunity. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, crop achuel, like the way that I have explained that to people, and people are always like it's a BR540 dupe, and it's like Does it have nuances that are like that? Yes, because it's an amberwood saffron thing. Okay, but if you want some funk, if you want a little funk in your life, the opening on Kropok Well, the first time I was like, okay, I like this. This has got some tang to it. This is a little funky. This works. And that white chocolate is not fake. Like I was like, oh my god. At one point, I remember I was walking into a building after spraying it on when I had gotten it in like November, and like the heat changed when I went in, and I went, oh, white chocolate.
You're right here. Still have
And
that
then
one yet?
yeah, yeah, that's one that I definitely I really like. I'm there's so many different ones from Panadora that I want to check out because like um Swedish Wood and Onyx Black that Joel has, great kind of dark resinous oody things. Um is it Forever, not Forever Love? Forever Love's um one of the like fresher ones. I think it's Moonlight. Moonlight's this really beautiful, sweet, chocolatey kind of
Yeah.
thing. That one's really pretty. Um, but that's the thing. Like, I think this house, unfortunately, what ended up happening is he came out with bottles that had deer heads on it, and if you look at like some of the posts on Fragrantica of some of the like,
It's just a clone of
literally, it's all people talking about Penhaligons, and
Van Halen.
it's like
Yeah.
smell the fragrances.
Yeah.
Deer heads are not exclusive to a singular brand.
Yeah.
It was one fragrance that had a stag head. Like, come on.
This is the whole house has the motif of the stag head.
Correct. Yeah. Because, and I mean, like, all these things are Panadora, even there's very much, there's clearly a lot of care and identity within the house and storytelling. Like, Panadora even is talking about, like, it gets a little cheesy. I'm not gonna lie, but I like a little bit of camp and a little bit of cheese in my fragrance, um, because like this, Panadora is like it's referencing like a connection to the spirit world, like God, kind of thing. So this idea of sense being an aspect of creation and these sort of higher connections as well.
Hmm.
Supposedly, there's also one that smells like Haltane, and
So Oud for Greatness.
yeah, I think Haltane. I don't like Oud for Greatness. I like Haltane though. I think it's the sweetness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I th- I think
The
it's the
sweetness kind of helps.
sweetness.
It's like it's very like sour.
Yes,
Oud for Greatness.
that lavender gets to a point where it's not a sweet lavender. It's pretty cutting and kind
Yeah.
of, yeah. Where Haltane, with that praline note that they have in there, I think that's what really saves it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if I can find one of the Panadora ones house I like more than PDM, and then I'll spend less because Haltane.
Yes, because these ones you come up on discounters.
150.
Yeah, at
You can
150.
get pretty much everything from this house for 150 around there. On
Yeah.
Fragflex mainly is where I go. 150 to 175.
Yep. There's the clone of it.
I need to find that other one. I think it's actually, is it Swedish Wood that I'm thinking of that has those similarities?
Maybe. Because they're equating this to Halfeti.
Swedish Wood. No, that's the Promise one. That people will say it smells like Promise. Yeah. Daydream, one of the new ones from them, is really nice. It's an irisy. I think it's Imperial Wood that I'm thinking of. No, that's just one I want.
Agarwood?
Possibly.
That's no. You see, sorry, that was.
Oh no,
that was what Blaine was asking.
No worries. Yeah, there's a bunch of ones. The one Baron, you should look up the notes for because that one sounds cool.
Let's see.
Baron sounds like a cool one.
White
That I would
floral
be interested.
rose, fresh spicy citrus floral.
It's got what
The
is
cranberry.
it was that cranberry and I think Chinese rose or Chinese poppy. I can't remember what China rose.
Chinese
Yeah.
rose. Yeah,
China
Chinese
rose and poppy.
poppy.
People have kind of equated this to like a really interesting, like dusty floral kind of thing, which sounds dope.
He loves that white chocolate accord, doesn't he?
He does. He does. That seems to be kind of a signature in a lot of the things. But yeah.
Estee Lauder brand. He's been buying up some Dunhills.
Ah. Those are ones, yeah, people have
They're all
always
discontinued.
recommended those. Yeah.
Cranberry rose mix based on. And it's a bit of a leathery cord. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. I wish there was some place for me to try these kind of locally.
Yeah. The Max Aroma New York place, do
I
they
have
have
to
it?
go by there. I don't know if they have it at
Yeah.
the store. It's kind of hard. Like I always try to if I lived a little bit closer to Manhattan, I'd probably go in more often and go to these places, other places.
Yeah.
But when you go into Manhattan and you're like, what am I gonna go? I'm gonna go to Stell. Like, come on.
It's like I'm in Manhattan. I'm going to Stell.
Yeah.
Yeah, tracks. That makes sense.
Especially if I'm going there for fragrance
Right.
in general, you know.
Yeah, you go to the place where it's like, hey, this is a place that explicitly says we only stock things that you're not going to find in most places. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go that place.
Yeah, they religiously try to make sure they're only carrying things that don't show up on discounters.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's the one that you're like, yeah, I'm going to go there. You know,
Yeah.
because you go to the Max Aroma place and they're like, these are called Zerzhoff.
These are $375.
And you go, right on, right on. Have you ever smelled Herba Pura? And it's like,
I can go, it's funny you say this, Max Aroma. You have this shop here, but I can in your store order from another store that's based out of New York called Droma Shop and get these for half price. Actually, right now, 60% off.
yeah.
They're having a blowout sale on Zerzhoff.
Yes, the Joma Shop blowout sale.
Yes, and it's 60% off.
Can't wait for the blowout sale on PDMs where there's still somehow $275, and it's like, huh, weird.
But yes. Oh, so anyway, now that we've gone and spent an hour about the preamble,
yeah,
now it's time to talk about what we were going to talk about.
I thought it was this.
Yeah, it is probably pretty much this. But
I pulled, so I have the Jardins de Misfa because that was one that I was revisiting and shocking. I still like it. I have another one that I haven't sprayed in a significant amount of time that I really actually quite enjoyed.
Okay.
The Solarberg. And then I pulled one from Brian's the package that he sent, which is Carner Barcelona's Megalium.
Okay.
And then one that Mitch was, both Brian and Mitch were insanely kind with what they sent me. This one I pulled because this is kind of one that I think I am interested in for me. Whereas a number of the other ones that Mitch sent are definitely ones that have overlap with Saga because, like, he sent some Guerlain Spiritus Fini. Like, yeah, like again, I am so blessed to have met so many different folks that are willing to share so kindly with the things that they have.
And then make you broke. You don't want to buy something.
Yeah. See, so this one that I pulled, Vintage Polo Green.
Oh, look at that. And you know what? It looks very green.
And the thing is, listen, if worse comes to worse, and I really fall in love with this, How bad could it be? He said, not ever looking at the eBay listings for vintage polo green. But there's that one house, that one guy that did the he made a vintage formulation of polo and added oud to it. It's there. The name is very punny. I can't remember what it is. I have to look it up. Yeah, like I have to see what it's called, but I can't remember. And it's a gentleman who looks Scottish riding a bear. Um, that's what the bottle looks like. That's the picture. Hold on.
Yeah.
But
Oh, is that
it's a small one in the
I know what it
US,
is.
and they have like this punny name.
Polysniferous?
Polysniferous, yes, the
Yeah.
polysniferous one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Mitch
Yeah,
came
thank
out,
you, Mitch,
came
yes.
out at the same time.
That is one I'm like, if this is something that I'm like, hell yeah, this, then that'd probably be what I end up going for. But what did you pull?
So I pulled out ones that like, so the theme is we kind of like revisiting fragrances that we tried in the past that either we liked and just didn't like enough to buy a bottle, or we didn't like at all. So I got a few here. So one you'd be kind of interested in because I know you guys really like it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I never sprayed it past like the first couple of times I sprayed it, so I was like, I want to revisit it because to me, it wasn't something I was super interested in. Another one that I got from House of Bow, Cosmos.
Okay.
Which is one I heard good things about. When I tried it, I was kind of like, meh.
I think that was my reaction to Cosmos as well, because that's the one that everyone kind of hyped, I thought.
And then I've got ones that I haven't smelled in years, but I have samples of them.
Okay.
And that is a little house called X Harmony.
Okay.
So reason why I never got bottles from them is because they were there. He kind of overcharges a little bit. I mean, this one guy, he does the whole thing, but still seems a little more than he should be charging. But
yeah,
at least these samples are well packaged, and that you get like the full amount in them, so you can at least experience them. So I was kind of interested in going back and trying some of these out. I know that someone in one of my Discord groups talked about every Christmas or so he runs a 50% off sale, pretty much, which is probably more the accurate pricing of what you should be charging for the bottles. But he puts out that, and then he's like, he's been picking up a bottle each year or something like that. He's been saying whenever it rolls around. So I might start doing that.
How much are we talking here? Like with the 50%?
We're talking about close to PDM prices as far as their bottles go.
So it's kind of almost like an Aromas de Salazar thing, where it's like high end kind of price point, singular sale, but it seems that you think that Aromas de Salazar, based upon how very public he is about what goes into the process, that you're like, okay, that's value that is being charged.
Yeah, because for Michael, he's doing his own tinctures and he's making his own oils and stuff, and I really feel hi Megan, he really feels that he's fair about his pricing and stuff. It's that, especially like the oud is my love language. Here's something where he's basically said, I'm barely making any money off of this.
Yeah,
it costs so much for the for the raw materials for this thing that even though this is the most expensive fragrance I ever released, it's still barely making me something.
That's the thing too, that I think, unfortunately, and we can kind of start spraying and talking about stuff too, but like that idea of partially like what the clone market has done, is people think that it's like, well, And Jeremy Fragrance, I'll blame him when he's just like, "Oh yeah, Office for Men costs me like what something obscene, like it was for,
$600, like the bottle or something. Well,
and
he
it cost
charges
him
600, yeah,
like
yeah, he charges $600, but
$5. Yeah,
yeah, it costs him like $5, not even. Yeah, I think like
yeah,
$5 for the whole bottle and juice inside. So
yeah,
it's just like, huh? And you on your site you say $600?
yep. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna go on skin because I don't have
Yeah,
strips.
we're gonna do a little bit of both.
Yeah, this one is really good. I remember the first time smelling this, and I had no idea what it was. I was like, this is very pleasant. Like in the air, it's kind of floral, bright, and then you kind of I dig in and you really smell it smells of wine, like cork and wine kind of thing. Oaky sort of aspect to it. Very
Which one you
pleasant.
pick out again?
Lee Solberg, Lys, from Mason Crivelli.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Because it's a lily fragrance is what I think it's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken. But it's got some really interesting nuances to it. This is something that I would wear that like when we're getting into that territory of this is baseline like what perfumery is to me. I wouldn't want something with less character, but this is also something where you could be mistaken for not wearing fragrance if you sprayed like really conservatively, like 3 sprays. People, I think, would just find it to be a pleasant sort of aroma. But yeah, and then the tea nuance starts to kind of kick in a bit too. That like mate tea kind of thing. Yeah, crap ton of amber woods though, like a lot, enough that I'm like, it's going fuzzy.
Do you think that what would Ophenlick's feelings be right now?
I don't think you would enjoy this.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
What I get, so what I'm smelling
Hmm.
is I'm smelling um well, that's why it's over here. It's all the way over there. No. Share this. There it is. I'm smelling this. A Strato. Which for me, I get a lot of this lactonic creaminess from this
Hmm.
fragrance. So much so that it makes me think like coconut in a way.
Interesting. Yeah.
Uh, I think I like it more than I did when I first smelled it.
Hmm.
So I don't really get so much of like the pineapple. I got a sweetness like this. If there was a top, it was very short lived.
Yeah. The way that I describe this smells like you're drinking a raspberry stout. Like that's it doesn't smell inherently boozy, but it smells like if someone sat down and described the notes and nuance
Yeah,
of a like a chocolatey raspberry stout, it's kind of that approximation.
yeah,
And I think the Divana does a lot of heavy lifting in that.
yeah. Because Nirvana is the a lot of times the primary kind of like or the
That
thing that
sweet
makes the Nirvana
booziness.
note is the booziness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it more, but I don't think it's enough for me to want to wear this too often. So
I will say that one I've cooled a little bit on. I wore it a lot in October of last
mhm,
year, 4 or 5 different times, I think, and
mhm.
then kind of shelved it. Um, I did finally smell Baronda.
Yeah,
It's pretty similar. Um,
Is this? Let me see.
Yeah, that one, it was definitely a similar vibe to it.
No, this is Pardon.
I'm wondering if the Barunda would be, because I just smelled it on a strip.
Yeah.
I wonder if that gets a little bit weirder, which actually would kind of bring a little bit more character to it, is have that sort of, that Orta Parisi, Nasamato funk along with it, right? Yeah. Like, I wonder if it would kind of do that over time.
Yeah.
Because that one stays pretty sweet, like just kind of through the length of the whole thing.
This one, I remember this being very photorealistic whiskey, and that's not surprising why it's like the number one voted note on here.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I got to step away real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. So, but yeah, like I said, a little chocolatier on my skin, which is nice, but still something I probably wouldn't like reach for per se for myself. But check back in, everybody. Do fire. Let's see. That's we're talking about a bois here. A bois, I should say, not bois. Because it's Italian, not French. Let's see. See if we can find this one. Just narrow it down. Is that in there? Maybe not. I'll just do this. There we are. Joel. You figure there'd be all these. There it is. Heart Barcelona. All right. Amber and spicy, warm spicy.
Yes. That let me actually pull that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is one, as Brian said, he felt that Megallium has a quite a bit of overlap of the rope from the eyes are always there. I don't know if that's on Fragrantica yet. The last time I checked, it wasn't. That fragrance is interesting to me because, one, it's $80 at Stell for a 30 ml. I think they sold out, but it's on the website. But that was created through the Art and Olfaction Foundation. They did a thing where an artist created two fragrances. The rope is related to a it's not romanticism painting, I don't believe. I'm trying to remember. I think it's Baroque, I want to say. Brian told me which fragrance or which painting it was. And the rope plays a pivotal part in this painting of this woman swinging between her lover and her husband. So it's kind of risque and scandalous. But I was like, that sounds good. It's like cinnamon oud kind of thing. And I like cinnamon. Cinnamon is definitely a top 5 note for me. And again, this is a cassia, not cassis.
Yeah.
Yeah, because because initially the first time I read it, I thought it was cassis, and I was like, oh, it's just another kind of like oud rose sort of thing. But I was like, oh, it's cinnamon. Never mind. Then
yeah, cinnamon.
Still, I'm on board. So, but this is Megallium, the Carner one, so I'm gonna spray that, and yeah, I mean, I love cinnamon. Like, it's a good one. So, this one I have Elborn from the brand.
Yeah.
I wish it just was a bit more potent. Like if I got an Elborn Extrait or something, I just feel like it doesn't really jump off my skin, but oftentimes that's my fault, not the fragrance's fault. So let's see here. Ooh, yeah. That's like green cinnamon peppery. Because so often when you think cinnamon, right, you associate it with like, I always do cinnamon rolls. I grew up fat, leave me alone. I'm continuing to grow up fat, but this doesn't have a nuance of that sweetness. In fact, there's actually cinnamon nutmeg kind of like booziness to it. Like really real quality whiskey. Like, that you get that a little bit when you get a whiskey that like it's not burning your nostrils, but it kind of gives you a little nudge in the nostrils, and it's like, hey, I'm a little bit spicy. Be careful, But yeah, cinnamon stick, I think, instead of cinnamon sugar is a really solid thing, Brian. That's a great way to explain it.
Yeah. Does it get smoky? Because I mean, look at all that bottom there: myrrh, olibanum, apopanax, styrax.
I will say, I pick up apopanax in this. The only reason is because the reason I can like confidently say, like, if someone sprays interlude, I know it's interlude, is because of apopanax.
Is that the
And
time?
I get that here, that because like the oregano part, that never really jumped out at me in interlude. It's definitely that apopanax.
Huh.
Because I feel like if oregano was in there, I'd be like, I think it smells like pizza, but
Okay. So I'm trying out Cosmos again, and I think it's a lot better
yeah.
than when I first tried it.
Okay.
It's more leathery. Yeah, it's definitely has more interest to me than it did before. It kind of, I mean, this is a Alberto Morillas fragrance, so it does have similarities to other Alberto Morillas fragrances. The one that I'm smelling right now is No Limits, the one he did. But it's more interesting than No Limits. It's definitely better quality oils than No Limits was.
How dare you?
So,
How dare you? Philip Plein's No Limits is the greatest fragrance ever created.
And I'm
That's a
not
quote.
getting.
That's a quote from Philip Plein, by the way.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting so much of the smoky aspect of it, unless it dries down into it.
Yeah.
But these bottles are pretty nice.
The bottles are nice. The top's nice.
Yeah. The problem.
How much are they retailing now?
Yeah. The problem is going to be when I scroll down and I show you the price.
Is it 375 or something like that?
They're not on any discounters, even though it says buy House of Bow from FragranceNet. I go there and there ain't no House of Bow on FragranceNet. There's House of Oud, but not House of Bow. So yeah,
I was $5 off.
Lucky Scent sells them for $370 for the 100 ml. I'm guessing that is
75.
$375.
No. 75 ml for 370.
Oh, that's 75 ml.
Yeah.
So yeah, 370 for a 75 ml seems a little bit much. At least with a PDM, you're getting 120 ml.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's their 50 mls are 40 mls Interesting bottle y'all decided to go with. Their 40 mLs are $250.
Yeah.
And again, like, spend your money however you want to spend your money. I'm never going to say, there's people that would look at me and look at scents that I bought for certain price points and be like, you got ripped off. And it's like, if you feel that way, that's your prerogative. But I didn't smell anything from this house that made me go, there. If I smell something and then someone tells me the price and I don't have that like knee jerk, it's either like, oh, awesome, that's in my budget. If it's out of my budget and I don't get like oh, I might have to, you know, save or do X, Y, and Z. Like if that thought doesn't even cross my mind, then that's how I determine whether I think a price point is justifiable. Where it's that reaction where it's just like, eh. And with all this stuff, like I smelled some nice stuff. It's the same thing. Anello. I like the Nello.
Yeah.
$290. No.
No, I
Like
don't like the Nello that much.
I don't like it that much. I don't like it that much. Because that's the thing too, is what I liked about Anello is the pineapple. And I'm like, I can find another really good pineapple somewhere else. Like, I think when I brought it up, you were like, the DS and Durga one, you're like, you should try this one. There's like other ones too. Another brand that does that for me is like Montauk Man.
Okay.
That's a New York-based indie house that's pretty comparable pricing. They
Mm-hmm.
have one that I'm interested in, but I'm like, I don't know, dude. I can't justify in my head that type of spending unless I sampled it and was like really, you know, really enjoyed it. But I think also people would look at the fact that I talk about how much I really enjoy Master Signature, and I bought that at retail, and that was, I think I spent 290 for that. I think that's the most expensive bottle I have. For a scent that I understand why I like it so much and how interesting all those things, but like to be honest with you, it is a mango cardamom vanilla thing. Like it's not all that. I have much more like interesting, thought provoking fragrances that I got for less. Um, but that's kind of the beauty of it. The Montauk Man stuff I think is also all those are like in that 375. To be honest with you, I just want a fragrance called Montauk Man because Montauk is one of the most fascinating conspiracy theory hubs in the world. So, time traveling and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, theirs, I will say, to their credit, they're 350, so cheaper, and you get 90 ml for 350. Little better, not
Yeah.
much. And I think
Which
it
one
was
you were talking about that you
I think it
liked?
was Rough Riders is the one that has pineapple and like tonka bean in it. Is that one? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Yep.
That sounds good to me. But
Tobacco,
uh-huh.
tonka, vanilla, pineapple, nutmeg. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And they have a travel collection where you can get the entire set because it's 4 fragrances thus far, 410 mLs for 180. So $40 for their 4 times discovery set. That's. But yeah, I think that's interesting that I think it's because the guy who started is from there, but like it's one of those things where when I saw Montauk Man, I was like, all right, so is there like a time travel fragrance and then like you know, is there a fragrance that's gonna reference like, I don't know, psychic manipulation, all that kind of stuff. And it seems like it's just him talking about Montauk.
So there's 4 fragrances. You can get all 4 of them for $40. They're 2 mLs, which is not great in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, but at least it's okay. It's only
And then
$40.
you look up Void's discovery set and you go,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the thing that I have noticed. Like there's that Cirrus Parfums one you're getting that I did with Miss Saga when we were a couple weeks ago that I was using. Beautiful. You get more juice. Like it's it's one of those things where, and I think, to be honest with you, what really points this out is I believe Montauk Man, there's a creative director who like started the brand, but they're working with a perfumer. Whereas both Void and Cirrus Parfums that I'm talking about, that's perfumer owned.
Yeah.
So the person that is creating the fragrances, because yeah, if you're like the Montauk Man, I think Rough Riders, let me check really quick because I think Rough Riders had like a pretty big name attached to it. What's the perfumer on that? Yeah, and Antoine Macedon. Yeah, there's some guy.
Some guy.
Some fellow. He made, myself, eau de parfum.
Yeah.
Burberry London. Some guy.
He's
Some
some
dude.
guy. He's made a couple of things.
Yeah.
Nothing too big.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately. Oh yeah, the Velvet Orchid from Tom Ford. Who's this guy? Armani Code Parfum. I would definitely, God, I would definitely like this fragrance. Like that's the worst. Anyway, I'm not buying a bottle of Montauk Man. No buy.
No buy. You're not buying, but would you buy a discovery set of Montauk Man?
No. Even though that's well within my budget, if I was buying discovery sets, I could almost get two. If I'm buying a discovery set,
Yeah, because like for $40, you could get 8 fragrances from a smaller house.
yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the one in New York. They have a fragrance that smells like sweet potato pie. It's like Acne something, kind of, not Acne Studios because that's a big clothing brand. I want to say it's Acme something. I can't remember their name off the top of my head. The discovery set's on Stell. It's a black queer owned house. They have one that smells like sweet potato pie, which sounds dope. They have one that supposedly smells like a night where you got high with your friends in the back seat and ate gummy worms and stuff like that. Like it's just like a fun one. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. They have one that smells apparently like Florida water, which that's why I want to try it because the wife.
It's called Florida water?
Florida water, yeah. Yeah. Have you never heard of that?
No, I'm just saying it's called the fragrance is called Florida water.
No, the fragrance is not called that, but that's what they say on the brand site. That that's what it's based off of. Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not paying $150 for a bottle of Florida water, but that would be funny. Gosh, I'm trying to remember this fragrance brand. Is it? It's that one on the right, Alloy Studio. Bottom right there.
Bottom right, this one?
Yeah, Alloy Studio. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's check out the bottles here. Luster, Silver Haze.
Silver Haze is the one where it's inspired by memories of smoking in the backseat and covering it up with trashy strawberry perfume. Yeah, that sounds fun to me. That's one that I would want to try out and really kind of get the vibe of that one. That one's super cool.
And again, like you're getting here's a bottle that's does it go into the size? Oh, it's 50 ml. So you're getting 50 ml for $170.
Yeah.
I think I did smell some of this house when I was there.
I think for you, like notes on it, like idyllic sounds like it because like spearmint, blood orange, ginger, black pepper, pineapple, Divana star anise, tonka, Virginia
Yeah,
cedar, labdanum, cashmere. Like that sounds like something that'd be your speed.
yeah.
That dude, Maravilla. I'm buying that. That is such a beautiful vanilla, like marigold chocolatey thing, dude. If you get an smell this one if you're
Didn't have it.
there.
The only ones they had of this house
Uh-huh.
when I was there was
I think it was parakeet was one.
that parakeet there? I think it was this one here.
Okay, yeah. Enforced modesty. I think Brian got enforced modesty in his. I want to try Duomo because that one is like a Negroni fragrance, like spicy Negroni,
Oh, okay.
which sounds cool.
Fig leaf,
Hmm.
ripened fig.
I do need to. I still have to film my review of that because I have the bottle of Union Street Crash.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one. Um, my mom liked that one on me. It was kind of funny because my mom, she was like, "Oh, you smell nice," when I was like leaving the house, and it's funny
Mm-hmm.
because her signature scent at this point, I bought it for her birthday a number of years ago when I was getting into fragrance. Was is By the Fireplace. And so Union Street Crash is like a woody, smoky, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that smells really
Right
good."
up her alley.
It's funny. It's funny because like I was like, "Oh, what are you kind of like? What's the vibe that you want to go for?" And that's when we ended up picking out By the Fireplace. I always thought that was super funny. That's the one that I was like, "All right, this is Prada Paradox," and she's like, "Nope." Um, It's like, okay, this is this one, and she's like, nope. Um, but yeah.
Did you get some of the ones that you had? They were discontinued.
So Union Street Crash is discontinued.
Continued, yeah.
Moonbathing we smelled. That was in the Discovery set. That one smells to me like there is a Delina aspect to it. Again, if you look at the notes,
It's
that's not that
lychee.
surprising.
Yeah.
Lychee vanilla.
Vanilla. Mm.
Really, really
Yeah.
nice. Very pretty. I like that one a lot. Like we're gonna give the Discovery set to my mom so she can try them out, but um, that one was very nice. Basic, some people would probably say, and some people would immediately write it off as like a Delina thing. It's like it's not though. It's so much more focused on a white floral aspect instead of a rose because I didn't really get any rose, so it's just that really creamy, enveloping kind of aspect to it. It smells pink. Like if pink, it smells like if you had like strawberry kind of like lychee milk sort of thing going on. It's very nice. That one was good. Palomino was another one that we did, which that one to me was kind of like a bit like Lone Star Memories. Lone Star Memories is definitely I enjoy more,
Hmm.
but it has that aspect of it's like it does a really good job of kind of evoking what would it feel like to walk out of the desert near like a New Mexico town. Um, it has that dusty, dry, leathery nuance to it, but then still some aspects that kind of poke in and out in a really, really nice way. That one was good. The um, I tried. They threw in an extra sample of um, it was an Amber Nouveau, Antique Nouveau. Um, Strange Proclivities of Mr. Dickens is. I wanted it to be more of a uh, mulled wine kind of thing because that's
Yeah,
what it was
I
kind of
remember you kind
presented
of
at.
you were kind
Eh,
of disappointed when.
Yeah, it didn't really evoke that for me. Um, but yeah, there's a lot from that house that I'm going to keep kind of exploring more of. Um, Small house, one person is the perfumer and owner.
So
San Antonio based.
Brian, you bought this directly through the house, right? You didn't buy it through Stell, I'm guessing.
I think we both bought ours through the house directly because the discovery set's been.
I mean, this is pretty cool. The background's doing something to.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I move around the cursor.
Serious Parfums, like, it was kind of funny because very, very nice packaging on the box, came with tester strips and all this stuff. And you kind of read stuff on the site, and I can tell that there's definitely like there's certain little phrases and turns of phrase and descriptions of things where you're like, you're into some kind of esoteric thought circles. There's a lot of like in love and light kind of vibes, and not new agey, but like someone that has a bit of like the idea that I don't think you can make fragrances like this that tell such a story, because all these are like personal stories and evocations. Like Union St. Crash is about, we kind of stumbled into this bar and this is what I remember, and I think that that's cool. This one's being discontinued. I like it a lot. I'm not I'm fine that I have a 30 ml. I got a 30 ml of it because it sounded good, and that'll last me.
This is the one that it was used, right? And you had bought the used
no, it was no, it was it's this, the page you were on. I bought a 30 ml of it, and it's sold out. This is one that she's revamping packaging, and from my understanding as well, I believe it said they were adjusting what the house is going to be offering.
Okay.
So certain ones are getting kind of moved on. This one I'm going to do a full review on. It's one of those things where if you're looking for like that storytelling aspect in fragrance, that's what this house is definitely doing, is that storytelling aspect. And I think that's super cool to have the ability, much like the Sorcinelli fragrance, that when I talk about that idea of like the idea of being able to evoke a story in a visual sense through an olfactive medium it's incredible as an idea. Your ability to do that is always immense.
Not to give you some sort of buyer's FOMO there, Brian, but 50 ml for $135 for the one you love the most.
And this was for me. There's a few in there that, even though like they have one, I think that's called Laundry Day. Yeah. I want to try Laundry Day, but if you look at it, you would be like, that doesn't sound like something you would actually be interested in trying, because it's notes.
A clean scent?
It is, but it's a clean scent with apparently a ton of lavender.
Yeah.
I love lavender. And vanilla and like an Earl Grey tea kind of thing going on. And it's like, that sounds pretty good to me. So,
the 10 ml, but they have the 30 ml, which is still 30 mls for $85 is quite reasonable.
Yeah. And this was, I think that as my goal was to start doing more like American independent niche and stuff like that. This one I kind of stumbled upon. I think I found it on Stell and was looking, and I was like, oh, and then it's like, oh, it's in San Antonio. I'm like, oh, because there's a bunch of brands, like there's them. There's a fragrance house that is based out of Austin that I found that is interesting. Have a good one, Joel. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Joel.
Hope you get
enjoy your birthday weekend.
A nice meal.
Yes. Enjoy.
But yeah, I think that's
pretty cool too that they do this. I like this. They're showing like their natural ingredients and their synthetic ingredients. You're just like, hey,
this is also the brand that I believe it's $100. They will send you all of their ingredients, a sniff kit basically to educate. I think if you click perfume education, I want to say that's where that's under. Yes, 150 for a nose training kit, and you get a notebook that has so 35 of the materials and information notebook that talks about the fragrant or the chemical, and then also you can write down
your notes about like
notes about it and stuff like that. Which, like, this is something where I was like, that would be something that I actually at some point should like invest in to get that like ability to really sit down and be like, I know.
This is actually really good. I think I'm gonna actually buy this.
Right? Like that, I saw that and I was like, that's really cool. And
but it's sold out.
Yeah. It's like, and that's pretty reasonable. I haven't, and the thing too is like, whereas a bunch of these things, like you can find perfume nose training things like on Amazon. Guess what I'm not buying? From Amazon.
From Amazon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But with this, I was like, oh, I could like, because this is theoretically, I mean, this is what she's using to make these fragrances. So, you know, she's getting it from a real house, a real flavor house.
Yeah.
You could probably even look up if there's anything like, is rose, if we, what ambroxan is it? Galaxolide?
Galaxolide,
That's not it.
ambroxan, ICO Super.
Yeah.
ICO
Rose
Super.
Auto. Because like one of these has to be like a specialized captive. Well, maybe not actually. Interesting. But yeah, I'm going to spray this vintage polo green because I think something's up with the cap on it. So I'm just gonna see what I get here. Come on, don't do this to me. Oh, there we go. It smells like polo green. Which I'm not complaining about.
So this one.
Yep. I mean, it's just it's what you want a polo green to smell like. It's green, peppery, aromatic, woodiness. I have a feeling
came out a year after I was born.
Okay. Yeah, this is one where it was interesting. I was talking to a coworker who's like not really into fragrance at all. And we were talking about this idea because I was talking about the back to school fragrance video that I made, and I talked about the idea of like youthful aspects, and he's like, do fragrances like go out of style? And I go, yeah, they do. I'm like, in a weird way, compared to, they go out of style in the sense of like every trend waxes and wanes in pop culture, and then it just comes back oftentimes in another way. Like, I personally think right now, as we've kind of chatted about, that you could spray a lot of these 80s to 70s fragrances that were popular. Like, this was the go-to scent for dudes in the 70s and 80s. You wore polo green.
You could spray it now and people will
smells niche.
Yeah.
It smells niche. It smells like
complex.
Something. Yeah.
It's dense. It's rich.
Hmm.
It's none of the things that modern designers are now.
Yeah, there's this interesting aspect to it where what was I smelling recently that I was just like, I can't believe this is actually a designer release from like this year because it just didn't smell like
Something you would smell. It smelled more like a throwback fragrance.
it smelled interesting.
Yeah.
Um it smelled different. It smelled
Yeah.
different than what you would consider to be, because if I were, like I said, I gave you what the fragrance presently is for young men. It's stronger with you.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's stronger with you, and it's like, ask me how I know. I smell it every day. Like that's always the thing. Everyone's like, oh, Sauvage, Sauvage, Sauvage. It's not Sauvage. It's stronger with you intensely. It's it's Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir. It's those types of fragrances as opposed to, something like this. It's not sweet enough. Because even now, if you smell like even an Aqua de Joe fragrance, Aqua de Joe's a little sweet. Like that's the thing,
Yeah.
it's everything from a sweetness perspective has been ramped up substantially since a lot of these fragrances were out.
Yeah.
And like part of it is, I think I know what it is in regards to like the trend aspect of what people are wearing, is that there are more people that came to the realization, and this transcended from the consumers all the way up to the marketing, and then it became the design thing, was that men's fragrances for the most part are marketed to make you smell better to the opposite sex. And I say that, and I'm explicit about that because I don't think fragrance companies making fragrance for men design fragrances for queer people in mind, um, because they make the assumption, rightly so, sometimes not, that a queer person's just going to get the fragrance that the other group would have. Like I watched this really great content creator who's a lesbian, and she's a masculine lesbian, and she was talking about her favorite fragrances. Guess which ones? Guess three of the five. We talk about one of them every stream, which just points to the fact that it in fact is more important than Aqua de Joe or Aventus.
Terre de Mer.
That is one of them.
Yeah.
Terre de Mes, Bois Imperial.
Which I was gonna say Ganymede, so that was gonna be pretty close.
Last one is the fragrance of the current time. It is the most popular fragrance amongst the
The youth.
people of New York,
Oh,
Atlanta.
pot. No.
Literally, yeah. Well, I think it smells like pickles personally, but
Yes.
yeah, it's Santal 33
Santal 33.
was
Yeah.
the other one, and it was a great video. I forgot to bookmark her page. I wish I had remembered. I'll have to try to find it because it was really well presented and really cohesive, short content that wasn't like surface level. Love that. But that's kind of that interesting thing, is like, so everyone realized, it's like, so what do women want? The consensus I think now for a bunch of people is like they want sweet, gourmand-esque fragrances,
Yeah.
because like there's people who be like, what a woman would wear on herself she'd want to smell on a man, and it's like, yeah, like I can understand that, but also at the same time I think that that's just pigeonholing the whole concept of fragrance so much. Like when we were talking about the outfit aspect, if I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to wear gray herringbone jacket, black slacks, blue shirt, dark blue tie. Um, I'm not wearing a gourmand fragrance tomorrow. That is not what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I'm contemplating actually just wearing a Union Street Crash, or possibly even Versace Eau Noir, um, just to kind of set the tone. but also I could see myself, you know, signature noir would work with that kind of stuff. I I think that that is interesting though, that there's so many. I think you could honestly just start, and perhaps this is actually what has happened, is just like, some niche houses are like, hey, why don't we just redo Antaeus? It's like,
Right.
that's niche now. Like, people are going to be like, oh wow, this is kind of crazy. But yeah, this polo green's really nice. This polo green's really nice. But someone, if they smelled this on me, would be like, they would say that smells like my grandfather.
Hate
And
owned.
that's all it is. I mean, they say that no matter what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
But that's what it is now, is that the idea of what dates a fragrance in a kind of a cool way, if you think about it, is like, I smelled this on a person and this was their age, so I felt as if that is the connection that I made. And for me personally, like when I started, and granted it's still this way in many respects, um I've started to get more into those more darker, resinous, challenging, interesting, thought-provoking profiles just kind of naturally. Like, that just became something where I'm like, oh, I like the smell of this now. I think that if I were to spray polo green on when I first was collecting, where I was buying Lamal elixir and stuff like that, I'd be like, I don't know, But now,
Yeah.
yeah, like, but then also at the same token, a couple days ago I wore Wave Child, so it's definitely for me. It's always going to be that idea of like the what I'm trying to present, the vibe,
Yeah.
those kind of things are always going to be pivotal to that.
Sometimes, yes, and you like variety, You don't
Yeah,
like to pigeonhole yourself into wearing one type of fragrance. You want to be able to have whatever you're feeling like at the moment.
the joke that I made when it was our first day back and we were doing like our department was meeting and the new teachers were like introducing themselves, and our department lead was like, say a fun fact about yourself. And so I was like, fun fact. I'm like, I make fragrance content, and I collect fragrances. So if it smells good, it's me. If it smells bad, it's
It's
also
me.
probably me.
It's
If
also
it
me.
smells weird, it's definitely me.
Yeah.
Um,
But if it smells just very basic, clean,
it could be me.
it could still be me.
It could be me, depending on the day.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like, but it's probably not. Like, I got a chuckle because I've been watching as Mitch, Fragrance Time, has been kind of bit by bit
Going through
sniffing the
your
decants that I
decant,
sent
yeah.
him. Yeah. And the one that I thought was hilarious, I actually laughed when he said it, was he was smelling Serena,
Mhm.
the mango oud, and he sprayed it on and he went, "Oh, this is bold," is what he said. And I'm like, don't you wear like the night and stuff like that? Like, what are we talking about?
So dad's
But
cologne drawer.
how's it going?
Welcome.
I'm like halfway through his current video, Dad's Cologne Drawer. If you guys haven't checked his stuff out, you definitely should. He's got one that it's I like this idea of he's doing recommendations for fragrances for like that high school age, uh, which I think is actually so fitting for a channel called Dad's Cologne Drawer, where it's like, let me give you some advice. So I think that that's super cool to keep offering those different perspectives, just because, and the way that he's kind of done it is he's matching kind of like what type of kind of vibe you are as a person. Are you the goth person? Are you the, more sporty outdoors kind of stuff? I think that that's awesome, just because, yeah, like the way, like, that's the thing. If you're a person that's ever watched content and been like, I wish content was different. I wish these people weren't, standing in front of 1,000 bottles talking about the same, dupes. It's
Mm-hmm.
like if you hate that and you want it to change, you have to support people that are making things that are very much against those ideas, and that's what this video is. It's literally spending properly, thinking and being intentional about what you're trying to put out there with the things that you're doing, and just being like logical about yeah, just not being not and it's one of those things, like, some people think that I get a little over the top about it, but like what a lot of influencers do, it's predatory, dude. It's predatory. Like, that's full stop. There's no excuse for it. So
Yeah.
um if you're looking for things that are authentic and it's someone's experience, that's what matters. Like, that's what you need to keep following, these types of creators that are willing to do that. So and his interview series has been great. I need to actually watch the Everyday Fragrance one before the new one comes out as well. um, so because he just popped up on my algorithm, which was good. I was like, ah, finally, it's working. I think I
Yeah,
was like watching a
he has
Mitch
a,
video,
yeah.
it finished, and then one of the recommendeds popped up for him, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want. Um, and the intro,
Yeah.
his song intro, it reminds me. There was a band called Battles, and they had a song called, not Fragrance Time, but Dad's Cologne's Drawer.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is, but I'm like, I've heard it. There was a band called Battles that had an album called Ice Cream, and it was like this kind of like funky, weird sort of experimental sort of stuff. But the opening for his theme, I was like, what is this? And I'm like, I've heard something like this before. I don't know if it's that particular little sound bite, but it's a good one. But
Took him from this one, the newest one.
if you listen to it, yeah. So pause that real quick and then look up Battles Ice Cream. But he was saying he wrote it during COVID on GarageBand. That's sick. No AI needed. You can be creative without it. Like people that are constantly making garbage. Yes, you can pick the second one. I don't know if the the video is actually acceptable, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
this that goes in a much different way. But this was me in college.
yeah, I can see different tempo, right?
Yes, yeah, a bit different, because that's the whole thing, is that build up, yeah. Yeah. And then the intro too, I was just like, it gives me uh what's his name? Did like the Royal Tannenbaums and all that stuff. I can't believe
Oh yeah.
the Artur director. Um yeah, Royal Tannenbaums, Grand Budapest Hotel, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I'll just name all the movies, it's fine. Can't remember the name. Uh Grand Budapest Hotel.
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson. Dear Lord. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. 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 Love it. It's the future. Yeah, it's definitely, the font helps, but even like the stop bit animation stuff, I like that. I like it. Um, yeah, that's definitely one of those kind of channels that I went, ah, perfect. This is what I want. It's the best way I can describe it, like for like Ofen leaked as well, and Mitch as well, is like when I started, and much the same that like your interviews and stuff like that is, I started making videos because I was like, I want to make stuff that I want to watch. And then
Yeah.
I was also conscious of the idea that other people are capable of also making things that I want to watch. I just had to dig more, and find those types of things. Um, so that's kind of that aspect, which, you know, it sort of ties into the topic a bit in the sense of revisiting things and adjusting things and
Yeah.
going back.
So I sprayed on while we were talking earlier.
Hmm.
Let's see if this is gonna even print out. Oh, there it is. Vanilla X Fig
Okay.
by X Harmony,
Hmm.
and it's not any really better than what I remember. It's a very kind of linear type of scent, um, but it's as it says, it's vanilla, obviously, as being
Hmm.
the first part of the name of the fragrance. Fig wise, it's not as strong of a note. Like,
Mm.
when you smell fig, there's certain fragrances you probably think of instantaneously, like Aqua de Parma's Figo de Amalfi or
Gris Charnel.
Gris Charnel.
Yeah.
It's not so much those kind of like it would probably lean more on the Gris Charnel side
Sure.
of fig with
Because
this vanilla.
that one's, it's fig, but it's also like woody, kind of vanillic, powdery aspect to it. So that does make sense.
Yeah,
Whereas Figo de Amalfi's fig as a, you know,
fresh.
wearable summer fresh fragrance. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, this stuff, the Lee Solberg stuff, it's just the opening's really good for me, and then it's at that point where it's a white floral, powdery, mildly sweet, musky. Pride and Joy, a complete joke where I added a crazy mint. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I yeah, that, the one that will be the next big project, I need to actually just film stuff and edit and just put it in there. But the next one I'm going to do, I think I'm going to start. I have to start doing more research for it. Um, but I think it's going to be the American Psycho one. And I'm
yeah.
going to try to film that. I think I might try to film that like after Scent Explore kind of thing, where we come back like that Thanksgiving break, try to film a decent chunk of that. Because
Mhm.
that one, I want to go a couple of different places with it to talk about, literally and figuratively. I do want to up the
Film,
production and
yeah.
film in some places. Yeah, film
Which
in.
is you'll have to do it quick.
Yeah,
Well, you're not setting up cameras, you're not setting up lights, so
I
you're
honestly think I'm gonna look, but like I could just rent a WeWork thing room for a day and film basically what I want. I don't
Mhm.
know how much I will. I'm still kicking it around because the one thing too that inevitably happens when people seem to talk about American Psycho specifically
Mhm.
is when they do like video essays on it, is everyone wears the suit and all that stuff for the entire thing, and it's like I'm not going to do the opening monologue about his routine of being clean and all that stuff, even though ironically of all the types of videos, that would be the most logical place to start with this particular topic where it's talking about fragrance. But
Mhm.
I'm not, you know,
We're
I'm
not
not
playing by the numbers here.
no, I'm literally, I'm doing it because I'm like, I don't want to do it that way because everyone's done that before. That's a consistent one where it's like it's it is important for explaining the character, but then everyone also like completely misses the point of that a lot of the time, where it's like the whole idea is like the most important line in that monologue at the end is, I look at myself in the mirror, but there's nothing there. Like he says that, and you're like, oh, I understand who this character is now instantaneously. But
Yeah.
so many people are just like, look how crazy he is about his routine, and it's like, that's not the part. That's
Yeah.
not the part. Um, yeah, I would be happy to. That would be awesome. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, we'll have to. I have my email link in my YouTube channel, and or if you've got Instagram, we can talk on there and stuff. That'd be cool. Get some, can plan it out and all that kind of good stuff. That'd be awesome. Um, yeah, like I've been really enjoying OpenLeak's videos too recently that he's been doing, where he's been talking about again more so of that um, idea of the hobby as opposed to fragrance necessarily. You know, where it's like, um, Brian, I was thinking about that. You know, you need to keep some of these ideas, write them down in a journal, because that was going to be the thing, was cut to different tester strips. Oh my God, that's Paul Allen's tester strip. But yeah, that's the thing. I think that specifically for the American Psycho one, I do need to get a couple of samples so that I can do that whole thing where I tangentially talk about fragrance as related to the topic at hand. It's like,
Maybe, you got to do that after like the first day of Scent Explore, where you can go around and collect everybody's
that
business
was
cards.
that was kind of the other thing
Yeah.
too, was I was like, I'm gonna be in New York. I could film some stuff in New York as well, possibly.
Yeah.
But the idea of yeah, I want to talk about American Psycho without, the one thing that I tend to see when people talk about it from a video essay perspective is it's always this like, they tend to frame it as if, and what, it's 2026 and people are like, you, that many years removed, and they're still acting like, they're like, don't you get it, he's bad, and it's like, it's like, yeah, I think we do. I
Yeah.
think when you're talking about, now, is it possible that a bunch of young men that watch like motivational speeches intercut with Patrick Bateman in the film, do they know that? No, because most of the time those motivational speeches don't show him trying to, like, I don't know, feed a cat into an ATM or kill a homeless man. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
no, like they don't feature that. And it's like, that I think there's a very interesting commentary about that, and then extending, you can extend it to fragrance too, right? Like, that was the whole thing with the Filippo Sorcinelli video too, was like, the thing that I could have spent probably an hour talking about was the idea of like, oh wow, ultra niche fragrances are just Renaissance era art. It's a bunch of people buying stuff that they really don't appreciate, but they're buying it so they can display it because it makes them look rich. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, I found the video." You see it happen in the video where I'm sitting there just kind of, I'm like, "Oh my god." That's what it is. Like, "Oh my gosh."
It's great when you have
So
those moments during the
yeah,
video.
that's always going to be the thing. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to be accused of using AI to write scripts, because of, like, number one, I'll show you the Google Doc. There's no copying and pasting. It's just, it's a
Just
bunch of like deletes and like, what were you thinking?
yeah,
No, that's not how you spell that. But
you just
like the way,
vomit. You just vomit out onto paper. Like that's what I do.
literally
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
opening like, I was like, all right, the shorts cut thing, that'll be cool. And then I was like, intro, and I'm like, Mr. Saga talks about this, and I went, maybe I'll write some of this and some of that. And then I realized how much I hated using a script as I was filming that. Because I was filming it in front of my laptop, so there was things that I was like reading at times, but I don't know. I think that the way that you demonstrate authentic content nowadays, where it's very clearly not AI sort of focused, is by having it be a little messy. Because that's sort of the way I think you can find that. I appreciate that. Yeah, like that's always the thing is if we can I think the coolest thing is when you produce content that people then get inspired to then create things themselves. Like that's the coolest thing.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
so awesome. That's definitely like how you get that sort of intriguing communal aspect to this, because that's the thing. Like I was like, it's 5 fragrances. I hope other people start talking about what they wore in high school or what they would get or why, etc. Because that's the thing. Like we need to have the ability to, you know, granted most of my the people that watch my stuff, it tends to be closer to my age, but when I saw like a couple of dudes that commented that are like going into college and they were like, I got this, and it's like, dude, if you like it, that's what matters. That's what matters, not anything else. And yeah, you can wear Dolce and Gabbana EDP and you're gonna smell great, and you don't have to buy Lamensity or Imagination or a dupe of it. Like you can get that and you're good. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we've gotten to the point where we have enough people in like our group that
Mhm.
we could do stuff like, hey, I made this video. Now I kind of challenge Mr. Saga to make the same video but in his style.
Yeah. Bring back the old That's what we're doing. We're just recycling the old Fragcom like tag videos and
Yes,
stuff.
we're tagging people in the videos, but we're doing it in a more
But it's
interesting
like,
way.
yeah, it'll be like, hey, I'm tagging you, but I need you to do a dissertation on the value of this house's perception and usage of the note of Kumarin. Go.
Go.
I'm
That'd be
never
a
doing
heck of a
that.
lot
If you
more.
ask me that, I would be like,
All right.
tag openly.
Yeah.
It'd be a video of me sitting there going like, all right, so Kumarin.
Yeah, let's talk about Kumarin.
It's
Pick
like
your
that's not me. Yeah.
favorite Kumarin fragrance.
Yeah. Like I'm never like is there a part of me that wants to make a Ren Joey decant short where I do my scent of the day, I figured out what it was, by the way, because I was like, every time he's like, Joey here with another, and I went,
Another one for you. Yeah.
it's Billy Mays. It's just the Billy Mays pitch line. I was like, oh my god, that's what it is. Billy Mays here with another fantastic product. Joey here
Yeah.
got another one for you. I'm like, oh my
Rest in peace.
gosh.
Rest in peace, Billy
Rest in
Mays.
peace indeed. But yeah,
Watch
I
out.
was like, that's what it is.
Watch out for those luggages, okay?
Uh-huh.
Look at that. He died from getting hit in the head by luggage and turbulence.
Wild. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Blaine, I start back tomorrow. They'll be there. I'll be there. They'll be there. Still need to figure out what I'm gonna wear fragrance wise.
You should. You know what would be interesting?
Mm-hmm.
If you do a video about your first day wearing fragrance, because you told me about what you're going to do for that class.
Yes.
Like wear something that would fit that topic.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I tend to do that. Like when I do the Black Death, I wear incense fragrances because I dress up like a plague doctor. And I also spray a bunch of, frankincense room spray in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, "What's that smell?" I don't like that smell. It reminds me of church. I'm like, I love this lesson. My room smells so nice during that lesson.
Definitely, because I think doing an aromatic class, doing a lesson, but with added aromatics into the
Yep.
situation is an interesting way to teach a class. I think.
It is, because like, so there's that one. The one that I'm still not satisfied with, and it's only because I need to actually sit. It might be one, unironically, where I have to layer smells. But it's when I do World War I, it's trench warfare. I wanted gunpowder,
Mm-hmm.
but that is not a good scent to have in a school. Um, so I
With,
didn't.
with all the shootings and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, what can I? And I found one that I kind of like because it's I think it's called Aspen Fog,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like cashmere smoke and watery notes, and
Okay.
it kind of smells like foggy early morning on a battlefield. The only thing that's missing is like a petrichor earthiness.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I was gonna comment on the video you were saying where, like, I think Encre Noir Sport, I think almost any Encre Noir, like, I think Encre Noir Sport, you might get a little bit more where, like, some of those high school kids are like, yeah, this one is kind of just fresh and woody. Encre Noir, I agree with you. You kind of prefaced it where it's like, just be aware. you're you're getting something way different than what you're normally smelling, which is true. Because but sometimes that's been compliments like that I've gotten from students. Like Serena is a fragrance that kids were like, that smells really good. And I'm like, the mango oud rose fragrance smells good to you, and they're like, yeah, it smells really nice. Okay, Danae, they were like, that smells really good, and I was like, really? They're like, mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, no, the
Yeah.
having the olfactive aspect to it, it helps with memorization. Like the Black Death lesson plan, the costumes, the candles, the smell, all that stuff, it makes them remember it. Unfortunately, it just really doesn't show up on the AP exam all that often. It does a bit, but it's more like the idea of pandemic diseases at large. But it's like
It gives them
that's
like
yes.
a more deeper overall like memorable experience than just like what the SAT or like what the question is at the end.
God forbid that school is fun. God forbid that school is at times makes you think creatively. But you're correct. Like that's the thing I tell people all the time, like newer teachers and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, if you're gonna be the lecture person, like stop. Like, see you, Brian.
See, Brian.
Um, it's like I don't remember really awesome lectures I had. No offense. Like even in college, because I had wonderful professors and had great lectures, great talking style. Can I remember like certain bits and pieces? Sure. Do I remember the have a good one. Nice talking to you. Do I remember the Hindu caste system where I had to sit on the floor because my teacher didn't like me? So I was in the lowest caste possible. Yeah, I do remember that. Not from a trauma standpoint. I remember it was a memorable
It
activity. So
stood out. Yeah.
yes. So if
And
you can interject those opportunities as frequently as possible,
yeah.
that's what's going to do it. It's the
Yeah,
same
I
thing.
had a history teacher that he really genuinely loved history, and you could tell by his how passionate he got about talking about history,
Yeah.
especially American history. Uh, it was like it was my favorite class only because of how passionate he was about the subject.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think that in regards to anything, if you spend time with anything long enough, you are able to really detect that as a quality of the person or the product, even like in fragrance, right? Like the idea of like you can tell the difference between something that like a independent perfumer made, where you're like, they labored over this, they thought about this, they had like weird sleepless nights, right? Like all of that kind of stuff that happened. Um and you can detect that. Like I legitimately think you can. I can say, and I think that just relates to the idea of like, I don't think I've ever had a designer fragrance that made me go, "Oh wow, like there's a lot here being said." Um it's just
Well,
never happened.
a modern
Yeah.
designer
A
fragrance.
modern one, yeah. But granted, I will also say a lot of these ones, they say a lot without saying much, Like, but
They
there's
give
a
you
time
three.
and
They
yeah.
give you 3 notes, and that's
3
all they
notes,
do.
and then they tell you about how their fragrance is designed to evoke masculinity at a blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Then they write it. Then they write a 3 page paragraph about it,
"Mhm."
and you're like, you give us 3 notes. How are you just?
It's like, all right, Boss Bottled, the new the that one where they're like, we're overhauling what it means to smell like a man, and it's like, are you? Okay.
Or
It's like,
paradigm.
oh god,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, whatever. That one, I wanted it to be like, if the I when I read that one for the first time,
Uh-huh.
I sat there and I said to myself, is this like the height of irony and aloof eye rolling and sarcasm, that like that's where we're at in life, where they're like, we're shifting the paradigm. You're like, right? Like, it's got to be ironic, right? Like, please, please. And then you smell it and you go, oh no,
No.
they're they're not being ironic in any capacity. Because
No.
initially you're like, hey man, like it's a flipped triangle on the bottle. That means that like the base is the top and all that. And then you're like, oh okay, it smells like a lot of other things.
Yeah.
It's
Just
like, does it smell good? I mean, yeah. Um
sure, but it just smells like everything else.
Yeah, like
So
yeah, it
I think
smells good.
the reason why we had some sort of notion that it would do something other than what it was is because it was Prada, and they've done some things in the past that were like, this is different.
Yeah,
This doesn't fit the mold per se, you know.
yeah,
But no, it was very much the mold.
yeah. And that's the thing, is like, now granted, I could sit there, and if I wanted to be as kind as possible, I could be like, the fragrance is called Paradigm, not Paradigm Shift.
True.
They made a fragrance that is the paradigm of the current idea of men's fragrance.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, cool. If if Toscavat did that, I would probably find it more interesting. Not necessarily just because it's niche, but like a brand that very much is clearly trying to push back against all of that stuff. If they literally were like, we made a fragrance called
Par-
Fragrance or Paradigm, and it's like,
Paradigm. Yeah.
and then it's just like the most, it is that Prada fragrance, and then you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's like, okay.
This is an introspective type of fragrance. I can kind
I
of
wouldn't think that at all. I would be like, you guys are
well,
really.
what would be interesting, right? Though,
Mhm.
if they did it, but used like the highest quality oils they could do, so you could smell the quality difference. At least
Then they
then
would
you'd
be
be.
PDM.
So you're saying that PDM is going to have a paradigm?
I think Pear isn't PDM coming out with like an exclusive Altair Extrait thing that like
I don't know. You can't
it's
tell. You
yeah,
can't tell with them because there's so many people that make fake content about
yeah,
Parfum de Marly's stuff
yeah.
that you don't know. I saw like a clear red bottle a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, okay. So someone made a fake bottle, or is this an actual thing? I don't know. We'll find
Cologne
out.
EDT.
Yeah, something like that.
I would actually, no joke, would respect the hell out of them if
We're gonna go back to EDTs. You know what?
Cologne, because that's the most designer thing. All the designers are doing that now, where they're releasing EDPs, and then like they do an EDP, an intense, a parfum, and then they're like Ralph's Club EDT, and I was like, guys, what are we doing? Like,
Going back.
it's like we needed a fresh option. That's the EDP. That's the the most egregious one is myself EDT
Oh yes,
intense.
intense. Yeah.
Myself EDT intense. It's like what?
What
Okay.
oxymoron?
It's like, isn't that just the EDP? That's like saying this is my self cologne elixir.
But
Don't steal that, YSL. I swear to God.
I mean, let's look at Roja, right? Roja does something similar to that. They do, and
Yes.
Nishane as well. They both
Yeah.
have fragrances that they call colognes, but they're parfum concentrate.
Yeah. It's that idea where it's a semantics aspect, and like people that are language sociologists would find it to be fascinating, probably, that they're like, wait, so like cologne, what is that? And you're like, that is a measurement of concentration. It's like, okay, but what does cologne mean to the lay person? Men's fragrance. And if you say perfume, that's feminine. And it's like, okay, so what's a cologne then? Well, it's fresh. That's what it means, right? Like that's what the the cologne aspect, for at least for the
Like the
Colognese line.
nomenclature, what people would associate
Yeah,
cologne with.
right. Yeah, like the idea of that Nichane line specifically. The Roja one, not so much. It kind of works that way. Yeah, no, elixir's nonsense. It's not a word. It's it means nothing.
At least I will say one thing about Aaron Terrence Hughes when he was talking about, because he felt the whole elixir thing was turned into nonsense, and he was kind of at the beginning of the whole elixir thing when he started doing his elixirs. He wanted it to be very concentrated oils,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what he reached and he made. I think it was Which one was the unicorn elixir? Was the first one, or I forget which one it was
Yes.
the first one they did, and it's an attar. He made it as an
Right.
attar, and that kind of made sense in a way. There's okay, that kind of makes sense if you're going to make an elixir type fragrance.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, the idea that it is nowadays, it's so flippant, but that's kind of the problem in many, like it's the same thing, like that's the funny thing though, is who hit the ceiling? Sauvage, EDT, EDP, Parfum, Elixir, and then Sauvage sat there and went, where do we go from here?
yeah, that's why you had a gap. You had a pretty decent sized gap between
And they
Sauvage
go
Elixir and Sauvage
X-Straight.
X-Tray. Yeah.
Now, my question is, I haven't looked because I will probably die laughing if it's the case. Is it actually X-Straight? Is it an X-Straight concentration?
Is it above 18%?
Let's see. I have to go to the website.
Will they even say it on there?
I don't know, but I'm hoping. If not, I'm going to have to find someone that does the bottle shake test, where you shake the bottle, and if the bubbles stay longer, that means it's a higher concentration. Fragrance, Sauvage, X-Straight. It has a 5 out of 5 intense rating. Ingredients. Other ingredients.
You're probably going to have to go to a video because I doubt they're going to say it.
Probably. I'm also not that invested in it, but enough that I'm resulting in a men's extrait de parfum. So it does reference the idea of it being an extrait de parfum. That And then the opening 2 sentences are talking about concentration.
But
So
there's a kind of a big gap. Anything above 18%, and all of a sudden you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to smell this one.
I do too.
Especially since Austin was talking about it and it sounded dope. I'm not blind buying it. So, but I don't know if it's. I'll have to wait and see. That one I want to smell. I do want to smell the new Paco Rabanne, 1 million. The 1 million black, I think, is the new one that people are saying is like the big brother to 1 million lucky. Sign me up.
Yeah.
And it's a Quinton Beige fragrance. Yeah, pineapple, cardamom, blood orange, 3 different types of vanilla, coconut, clary sage, ebony wood, tonka bean, patchouli. Woof. Yeah.
A lot of these, I'm looking at these like here. I'll share this instead. Show you what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of these people that are like, this is a little off, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I guess it's also the definition, right? Where it's like, this is, again, it's one of these things where it's like, who's saying that? Is it like an IFRA thing? Follow up, why are you guys following what IFRA says? Why? Like in the last Aaron Terrence Hughes one, when he was talking about how Galaxolide's going to get banned by IFF, and he's like asking the question, he's like, why aren't the massive flavor houses lobbying against this? And I was like, that is a good question. It's like you would think that would be a thing that they would do.
But in reality, they don't, because IFRA makes them money. If you think about it, because due to the fact that if they ban Galaxolide, it forces the entire fragrance industry to have something different.
Yeah.
And change everything. And now everything that's older becomes more valuable because now it's discontinued and you can't make it anymore. And now you got to remake all your fragrances that had Galaxolide. So now you have to have new versions of it. So now there's a reason why everybody needs to buy your new version of this perfume, because now it's changed.
It's literally why it's called Original Coke. People don't realize it, but Coke at one time did a change of their recipe, and everyone went, "This is terrible," and then they brought back Original Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola Classic.
Yeah, classic Coca. Yeah,
it's the same thing. Futurama and Slurm. We'll call it New Slurm. Everyone will hate it, and then we'll bring back Classic Slurm.
New Coke tasted a lot like Pepsi, though. So.
And then remember Crystal Pepsi?
Yeah.
That's just a tad out of my age range, but just a tad.
Every fragrance, and I guess I get drinks and stuff like that are kind of very similar in that aspect, because sometimes you can have something that could potentially just have been before its time. It might have worked if it was just a little bit later, but if you're too early with your trend, you're just like forgotten about it. You're like, oh yeah, whatever.
You know who hit that perfectly? Ganymede. If you want an example of what arrived at the right time,
Ganymede. Yeah.
Where it became this, like, it was enough of something where people were like, wow, this is new and cutting edge, but then also at the same time people were like, this is too weird, and then everyone just went, how did you guys do that?
Well, I mean,
have you ever heard of Immortelle?
Let me show you what you can do with this little ingredient.
Yeah. Have you heard of Aki Galawood in Immortelle? Or wasn't it Quinton Beige was saying that there is no Aki Galawood in Ganymede? Can't remember. I think it was the interview that he did where he was talking about how there's no like Aki Galawood in something that I was like, really? What is it then? Because it smells like it. But
he talked. Oh, I can't remember what it was. I remember him talking about it in an interview, saying that a very small amount of his fragrances actually contain Akigala wood.
right.
Like,
But because technically, if I'm not mistaken, Akigala wood's a derivative of patchouli.
yeah,
It's like a byproduct of that process.
Yeah,
So
it's what you get because of it.
yeah, I don't know, but that's probably a good time to stop.
Yeah, we've been rambling on for a little while.
Tad bit.
Well, thank you everybody for coming by, hanging out. Dad's Cologne. Thank you for liking and subbing.
Yes, go and subscribe to him as well.
Go and subscribe to. I did. You saw me do it live.
I did. Yeah. And
So
if you're
you
watching
should
the
too,
VOD, yeah, exactly.
You should
if you're
too
watching
out
the
there.
VOD,
If you're watching, go ahead and sub, like a video of Dad's Cologne drawer and sub to the man. Please.
Yes.
Grow the community that you want, not the community that you deserve.
Yeah. And then if you don't deserve it, figure out why you either think you don't or why you don't, and work on that.
Yeah.
Because you do deserve nice things. You do deserve people that are producing things and making things that you want to consume, that isn't trying to sell you stuff and actively suck the life out of you.
Yeah. Don't be a target to Thanos' snap, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be the problem, be the solution. On that note, take care.
Take a bite out of crime.